What's up, guys? Welcome to my Breakthrough podcast. Today I have Jack Doherty. That's how I say it, right?
Yes, sir.
On the podcast. So you guys might have seen him before. We'll play the clip real quick.
What's your name?
Jack Doherty.
How much money have you made from YouTube at 15 years old?
Take a guess. I'll say higher or lower.
Okay, great. Wow, you've been PR trained. You've been media trained. All right, listen.
Look at go,
$500,000.
Higher.
You've made more than, this 15-year-old kid has made more than $500,000.
$882,000.
A little higher.
Now, you've gone viral pretty much every day. They've been reposting this video of you.
Yeah,
Right?
still going.
How old are you now?
18.
18. And when did you shoot that one?
That was when I was 15, so 3 years ago.
15. So at 15, right, just to start this off with a bang, you made your first $1 million. So you became a millionaire at 15. Now you're 18. You're crushing it. I know you're about to move to Miami. So let me ask you just quite simply, was it an accident, or was it just you knew you were going to make the money, something you envisioned, or just kind of happened as a byproduct of building a YouTube channel?
Yeah, so originally, like, when I started my YouTube channel, it was like a week before I turned 13, so I was like 12. So my brain wasn't like quite working like that yet. But I feel like, as I learned, like as I grew older and learned the business and everything, I learned more as I go, and I'm just like able to reapply that knowledge to like new business ventures, but also like to what I currently have going on. You just learn from your failures as you go. But
so
yeah.
you're so young, and you talk about failure, right? People tell me I'm young. I'm 24 now. And you're super young. You're 18. So when you talk about failure, what is it that you feel you failed at? Like explain. Like did you make the million, and then did you keep the million? Did you lose it after? Like what?
I mean, there's just like a million different things you could learn from, like whether it's like investing or like just mistakes or just bad choices you made. Like I've been sued like 3 different times already, and I'm 18. Like I've made over like a lot of money like trading options. I've lost a lot of money trading options. Like literally when I was 15, I got in that video, like I was trading options when I was 15, like with hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like at that age, like you just learn a lot, you just learn how to control your emotions. And I feel like money just matures you in a different type of way. Like it matures you or changes you, however you want to call it. But it's not a bad thing. I feel like I just I don't know, I just look at things differently now, and like a lot I try to,
So would you say that, I'm sure some of your friends are 18 as well, right? Would you say that you relate to them, or do you feel a little bit of a gap between your maturity? Because obviously, going to business, having a business, growing that it's like going to war, right? Every day.
Yeah.
So do you feel that has kind of made you more mature than your friends, or?
Yeah, no, definitely. Just because I've just been doing it for a lot longer than all of them. I've been doing it for like almost 6 years now. So I've just had a lot more failures to make, so a lot more lessons to learn, So I feel like everything just comes with time. It's like you should never try to rush things, because no matter what, a lot of things can happen in a fast period of time, but you can only learn so many lessons in that time, But it's
And
like,
would you say, what would you say the number one factor to your success was? Like, would you say it's an accident?
no, I think no matter what, like you just always got to keep going, because there will be road bumps along the way, but you just can't let that ruin your life. Like you can sit and dwell on your failure, or you can just like have zero emotion towards it and just look at it from the most unbiased perspective, and just how do you learn from that and make sure it never happens again.
It's funny because I always say there's very similar traits to people who are successful. And the most common one is that they're confident they're going to succeed. So no matter what happens on the way, no matter what roadblocks, failures, rejections arise, lawsuits, right? They continue to go. So, I know what you've done. Most people have seen your accomplishments, especially at such a young age, which is, by the way, amazing. What's your goal? Like, where do you want to be in a year or 5 years?
I don't know. I feel like I've definitely like accomplished a lot so far, but now I just feel like I'm really only getting started. Like I look at it like I'm only 18. Like I have a lot. Like I don't want to stop working anytime soon. Like I want to accomplish like a lot bigger things. Like I want to be a billionaire one day. Like it's just like, why not?
Yeah, no,
It's like, why
100%.
not set high goals?
That's a big goal. Exactly. And let me ask you another thing then. Would you say that you're happy?
Yeah, I definitely say I would be happy, because like why would I not be happy?
Yeah.
So I feel like if I tell myself I'm not happy, then it's just like I'm just gonna I don't know. I feel like it's whatever you tell yourself, but I'm happy.
I know a lot of people have a lot of limiting beliefs. They think that they have to sacrifice their happiness
Yeah.
to be successful.
But it's all a mindset. Like you could do everything. It's all about how like I can be miserable right now, or I can be happy. You know, it's just like, oh, what I choose to be.
What's the
feel like
most
it's-
money you made in a day?
Like 35K.
35K?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It's
Yeah.
some people's annual salary in a day at 18.
Yeah.
I wasn't making that kind of money until I was 22. So that to me is crazy.
And I did it like 3 days in a row too.
Really?
Yeah,
On what
it was
options? Or
fun.
YouTube or?
Other stuff, not options, but like just I would say sales or something. I don't know.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
But yeah, just I don't know. Just throughout the years, you find the opportunity and capitalize on it. And yeah.
And, a lot of my audience is older. They're not as young as me. I'm actually significantly younger than the majority of my audience. And obviously, so are you. And there are some people there who've worked their ass off for 30 years, 40 years, and maybe they feel it's a little bit late for them. Like they feel like they can't, they may not be able to start something new or go make the money. And I think what's so cool about having you on here, it was spontaneous, by the way. I happened to ask him now. He came to hang out. He's about to move to Miami. So we were chatting.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want us to be in a podcast? We're sitting in the chairs. He's like, yeah, let's do it. Put the mics on and here we go.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are older and, maybe they haven't accomplished what they wanted to. So the biggest reason I wanted you on this podcast is to kind of set an example for, hey, look, this is what's possible, right? If someone who's so young can do it, right, they can do it. What would your advice be to someone who maybe is younger or even older that hasn't necessarily had massive success yet, but wants it and wants to do it? What would your advice be if you were to just simplify it into a couple sentences?
I would say set goals and then plan out how you're gonna hit those, and just like follow the path. Like make it simple for yourself. Don't overcomplicate it. Like I wouldn't say go do a million things. Like focus on one thing and put your 100% into it. Believe in it and like just see the path and make it happen.
Yeah, I have to applaud you. There's so much wisdom in what he just said. So he could have sat here and made up random advice. I do this for a living, right? And I don't know if you know this, but I've coached people, for example, from $30 million company to $1 billion company in a year and a bunch of crazy stuff. And everything you just said is the simplest way to explain success. It's simplify, get clear on the outcome, and just, take action, right? Mm-hmm. And the fact that you understand it so young just goes to show people that it's not a matter of age. Oftentimes people look at age like, what do you know at your age? And I always say age is a measure of experience. So some people can have a lot of experience when they're young. Some people can have almost no experience when they're old. But it's about how much action you take. Now, on that note, how much action would you say you take? Like, do you work? How many hours a day are you working? And work obviously may not feel like work, but filming, editing, posting, grinding, thinking about work. How many hours a day would you say you're doing that?
Probably like all day. I'm always thinking.
Yeah.
It's like always like either always doing something on my phone or like actually doing like filming or like talking to like employees or just always something going on. But it's like it doesn't feel like work. I'm just living my life and I'm just I don't know. I like doing it. I don't see myself doing anything else. So it's just I feel like that's important too. Like. It's like I don't see myself doing anything else. I know this is like I don't know. I just know I'm satisfied with what I do, and it's just like I just gotta do it good,
Yeah, you enjoy it.
Yeah,
Passionate.
I enjoy it. But
how did you find that? Was it an accident, or you just happened to be yourself and you went for your passion?
I happened to be myself. I went for my passion, and it worked out. But then obviously, you can only scale it to a certain level by like eventually you got to apply like new knowledge to it to take it to new levels. So you got to like teach yourself, and a lot of it is just like I feel like you got to do a lot of things on your own at first to learn and like be hands-on and like understand things, and then after like you learn and everything, you can start to allocate like your time or like start to buy back your time and focus people in on like certain jobs. But I definitely think it's important to like learn things yourself because you'll never understand like certain sectors in life if you don't have like hands-on experience or at least like someone to tell you.
And where would you say you're learning? Are you reading books, watching videos?
I watch a lot of YouTube videos of just like just people on YouTube. Like obviously, like I watch your podcast. I watch a lot of Alex Ramosi, like Graham Stephan. There's Meet Kevin, fucking like everybody. Like I watch everybody. And literally when COVID started, that's when I got like super into like no matter what, I always had something in the background, like some sort of like something I can learn from. That's like not school, but like something that I find is more worth my time. Like even in school. I would always just be listening to stuff because I didn't want to.
It's so funny. It's like every time I interview someone successful, it's so funny to me. It's always the same thing.
Yeah.
They always work on themselves. They always are clear that they want more. They spend time doing it. You can't cheat success, guys, right? Some people might look at you and be like, oh, wow, he's so young. And this is the biggest thing. I don't want you guys to make this mistake, is to say that you got lucky. I can guarantee you he was probably posting videos every day. How long were you posting videos before anything blew up?
Honestly, it happened pretty quick. But,
Yeah?
But like at the end, lucky, like when I'm 12 or 13 doing everything by myself, it's like I had to carry it on myself. So I
You have to edit. You have to
yeah, I
film.
had to do everything. I had to keep
How
going. I
fast
had
did
to
it
keep,
happen?
Within a couple months, but like within a year, I had like almost 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So I like really managed to just explode it.
I mean, it just goes to show you, like you probably were doing something right. Like there's a formula to being viral now.
Yeah, definitely. And it's definitely like hard to replicate because not everyone in the world can, go viral. Like, but I mean, if you really put your mind to it, it's still in the early stages. Like it's social media. Like anything can happen.
Yeah.
It's like it happens every day.
Now, would you say that if you had gone viral and then stopped, would you be where you're at now? Like how many subscribers do you have now?
Like 3.5 million.
3.5 million. And that's because you post consistently? How often do you post?
Yeah, like twice a week.
Twice a week for over how
Now
long?
I do twice a week, but I was doing like every other day or 3 times a week at least.
For how long?
For like 4 or 5 years. 5 years probably, yeah.
But success is an accident. No, I'm kidding,
Yeah.
I'm kidding,
No, yeah, I never missed an upload or anything. I was very consistent with it. It's like I would never let myself. It wasn't an option,
Yeah.
It's like I have to. It's like I wouldn't even. You don't see like, am I gonna be able to post? It's like nah, like I have to figure it out,
I always say consistency equals outcome, right? And
Yeah.
people consistently don't do what they should be doing. So let me ask you this. What is your biggest motivator? Was it to help your family? Was it just, fame? Was it popularity? Was it success? What was it that really said, oh, wow, I have to do this?
I'm not sure. I feel like because I was so young, I never like really had a specific motivator. Like I had parents that like took care of me or whatever. I wasn't like I came from like the wealthiest family in the world. My dad's like does very well for himself, but I started off with literally just like using my phone to record, and then I bought my own camera and everything. But I feel like just the position I was in, I didn't have much. Like I was like 12, 13. It's like I always wanted more, so I was like, I got YouTube, and then it worked out. So I just went with it. It was just an opportunity that I saw, and I took it.
And like perspective for anyone watching, like 12, 13, I was super fat, I was insecure, had no friends, was bullied all the time, right? So it's just funny to think that someone at 13, right, has 1 million subscribers. 2 years later, you're at your first $1 million. It's crazy and it's so impressive, right? And people don't realize that. I want you guys to realize that is a big deal. I have yet to have met someone who made their first $1 million at 15. I've never ever met someone, and I've met a lot of people who are successful, like super successful. No one's ever done it like that. So the fact that you did it so early is crazy. And here's the thing, right? You're only 6 years younger than me, but it's actually becoming more and more common where I'm seeing all these guys who are 18, 19, multi-millionaires.
I just saw a 12-year-old who made $400,000 off an NFT.
Really?
Yeah, like that's insane. I'm like,
How
oh my
old is
god. 12.
12 years old.
I was like, dang, like
That's
he's
sixth
better
grade.
than me. Like,
Sixth grade.
yeah,
That's crazy.
for real.
And it's crazy that that's just happening now. I would even say we're almost probably in the same generation, but that's just 6 years younger,
Yeah.
right? And the information age is happening, right? So much is happening on social media, so much opportunity. It's insane. So for those of you at home who are wondering, hey, how can I make money quickly? Well, maybe in the past, get rich quick was a scheme. Today, I mean, you did it.
Yeah.
I would say I've done it, but I'm 24 now. It took me some time, but it's crazy. So if you were to give everyone here just one piece of advice on posting, like what would you say about YouTube? Like, what's your favorite platform, first of all?
I think the easiest platform to grow on right now is TikTok, and then I would say second is like YouTube Shorts, because short form content is just being pushed right now. Like people don't have the attention span that they used to have. Like times are changing, and you just got to be willing to accept like
Everything's about quick.
Yeah, it's just about like just finding what's next and capitalizing on that and being the first one on it.
So right now you'd say YouTube Shorts and TikToks. And
I feel like that is the best. Yeah.
How many followers do you have on TikTok?
3.5 million as well.
3.5 million. So in total you have about 7 million followers. What about Instagram?
Instagram, I have 500,000.
So, I mean, let's say there's some crossover, but assuming none, 8 million across all platforms.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And you're 18.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the goal then? What do you think, like is the goal to be at 50 million, 60 million in a few years or?
I don't know if I'm necessarily motivated by followers. Like I feel like now I just want to definitely, like, obviously I'll always be doing social media, making really cool videos, and that'll just come. But I feel like if I only focus on that, like I have to focus on like what builds that following, because that's what's most important. But that just comes with it.
And do people stop you on the street? Like, was that like an experience for you that was new, or is it just kind of,
Yeah, I get recognized like pretty much everywhere I go now, but that's just like a part of it. Everybody's on TikTok nowadays, so everyone like just sees. If you get a viral video, everyone's kind of saw it. Like everyone sees the same stuff, you know. So it's like everyone kind of recognizes you now. But it's always been like that. But now with TikTok, for sure, it's like a lot more.
It's a lot more, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot more virality on that. And is it weird for you, or do you like it? Do you
I
feel
like it.
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I fucking hate it. Like I'm not gonna sound like a douche. Like obviously.
Yeah.
Gotta like it. But like sometimes it gets annoying when people are just like secretly record you and stuff, or like you just feel like you're always being watched. But I mean, it's whatever. I'm not gonna complain about it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons.
yeah.
And how about your friends? I know a lot of your friends. You've made a lot of people pretty famous. On the side, you do that. You help your friends out. How many followers do some of your friends have?
They're right around where I'm at now. They've done really well. Like they're killing it. Literally started 6 months ago, and 2 of my friends, they're almost like at 3.5 million followers each. One of them already is, and then they're killing it. They're really hard workers. They're doing it really well for themselves. But I feel like I really obviously helped use what I learned over the past 6 years, and I tell them a lot of stuff. Like I just like say what's on my mind and like help them grow, because like I said before, like if you have no one there to help you, or like that hasn't gone through all the failures you've gone. That's why you need a mentor at. So that's why people go to the mentor, because they can't go through everything you've been through and what you've learned. Like only you know what you know.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why people go to learn from you, to skip out on all those failures that you made, so they can just start from. Because you don't have to make failures.
Yeah, there's shortcuts to learn. Right?
Yeah, there's shortcuts to everything. Like there's always another side path you can go. There's always another.
Yeah.
It's always something to.
So it took you 5.5, 6 years to get to this point. It took your friends 6 months, right, with your knowledge. If you were to just give 2 or 3 pointers, like quick, that you could give someone who's just starting off, let's say to go viral on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, what would the advice be?
Definitely post a lot of times every single day. Just dedicate your life to it. Like, I don't know, if you're going to do it, just fully commit to it and stay consistent. Like, you can't miss a day. Like, you literally can't.
It messes up the algorithm.
Yeah, everything. Like it's all up to you at the end of the day. Like it could work out for literally anybody, but you just have to pick something that isn't so oversaturated, but is also has a large audience that can that can watch that video. Because if you go for a very specific targeted, like say you're a dentist and you're trying to target like other dentists, like you can only get so many like people to see that video. But if you're doing like comedy, like that's something literally anybody can watch. But
yeah, makes sense. No, it makes sense. And what would you say your target is? Like, what's your audience?
I would say like teenagers, or around people like my age, a little older, a little younger. I would say people 24 and under. Like that is probably my target.
So funny. I have the complete opposite
Yeah.
demographic. My youngest people are like, the youngest would be 18.
Yeah.
And 18 to 24 would be like 20-30% of my audience. 24 to 35 would be majority of my audience.
Yeah.
And then I have more people that are over 50 in my audience than I do that are under 18.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's cool to think about, though.
Yeah, but it's funny because it makes sense. My content's more long form, right?
Yeah.
So the next generation is short form, short form, short form.
Yeah.
So, what about in your current life now? You feeling stuck anywhere?
Not really, but I'm doing really well right now, but still, I'm always just trying to zoom out and look at it and just how can I do even better? Like, how can I 10x this and then 10x that, and then.
So I'm gonna stop you there because I want to point something out to anyone watching. It's called chunking up, right? Seeing things in big chunks. People who are less successful and less confident tend to zoom in. So if you have a globe here, right, and I were to zoom in somewhere in Australia, and I was just looking at like a dead kangaroo, just so you can remember this, right? Well, that looks like a pretty horrible world. Now, if I were to zoom out enough, I just see the whole world. Well, I don't even know what that is. So people who are successful, there's a problem, they zoom out, they look at everything, and they could zoom in on the good things, they could zoom in on things they enjoy, right? And they could focus, they could see the entire picture. A lot of people tend to get hyper-focused on the short term, things that aren't working out, rather than things that are, right? How long does it take you to overcome a problem or something stressful? I know you're going through something stressful right now. How long did it take you to move on from it?
It depends. I try to obviously get it over with as fast as possible, like just figure out the most efficient way, like so it doesn't drag on forever. But I try to have like a positive mindset going through it. Like it's like, all right, it's happening. Like there's nothing I can do about it. Like there's no reason to let it affect what I have
So you're
going
not letting
on.
the external environment affect how you are internally.
Obviously, it will affect me, and like it definitely does affect me. But I just try not to let it. It's like,
But you don't let it kind of simmer.
yeah, I don't let it like affect what I have going on or slow anything down. Like I don't want it to slow anything down, you know? Like I don't want to make the problem worse than it already is.
I'm sure some people are wondering because you're so young. You know, you have a girlfriend. And is that because you want to stay focused on work, or?
Yeah, I feel like I've just never really. I had a girlfriend like when I was like 15 for like a couple months, but it just didn't work out. And then from there, I was like, yeah, I just don't have time for that. Like it really just won't work out like right now, you know?
Yep.
But
100%.
yeah.
And later on, you want a family, I'm assuming.
Yeah, for sure.
Got
But
it.
I'm trying to get the money out of the way, you know.
Where do you want to be?
Chilling.
By the time you're 24, by the time you're my age, where do you want to
Yeah.
be financially?
A billionaire, like that's the goal. Like,
Yeah.
why not do it now? You know,
Yep.
why do it later?
That's fucking awesome. And if there's any
Yeah.
piece of financial advice for anyone, what would you want to give them? Like if there's one piece.
I would say, I'm not sure. What would you tell them? What is a piece of advice?
Yeah. Great
I would
question.
want to know. You know? I mean,
Yeah, so I always tell people, if you want to make money, stop focusing on how and focus on what. Like, most people aren't even clear about how much they want to make, right? You're saying you want to be a billionaire. That's step one, right? You figure out you want to be a billionaire, you do the math. Okay, this is how much money I need to make every year to become a billionaire. So how am I going to make the money, right? You start big, and then you can hone in. I think a lot of people start small, and it's hard to kind of zoom out. It's hard to remember every little piece of detail in Australia. It's easy to remember Australia as a whole, right? You could zoom in. Oh yeah, there's Sydney, there's Melbourne, right? You could kind of zoom in.
yeah,
So I think my advice would be start with the end goal and work backwards. That's my advice.
yeah, that makes sense. Like map it out and then just follow the map.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are interested in actually checking out his content, if you want to model it, study it, we're going to link his channel in the description. Thank you for doing this with me really quick.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And I hope if there's any lesson you guys get from this is that, hey, anything is possible. When I tell people you can do things quickly, you can, right? A lot of people buy into this idea that you can't make money quickly, right?
Yeah.
Instead of buying into the idea that you can succeed now.
And so much can happen in like literally 6
Overnight.
months. Yeah, like a couple months.
Yeah, one video goes viral. Bam.
Yeah.
My friend.
Like literally your life can change in a month from now. Who knows? You can be in a completely different spot.
100%. My friend Spidey, I have another podcast coming out with him, actually after this one. So when I filmed the podcast with him 3 months ago, his channel was at 2,000 subs. His channel is 600,000 subs right now.
Damn, yeah, it's
Blew
crazy.
up.
Yeah.
He has the most viewed videos for Johnny Depp trial and Amber Heard. He has the most viewed video for Will Smith and what's his name? The comedian where he smacked him, right? And his channel blew up. And he's making at some points like 50K a day on the channel.
What the on YouTube?
On YouTube because
On
it's
shorts?
it's long form content. It's like 45-minute
wow.
videos. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's smart. See, like he capitalized on that.
But they're
like,
super viral. It's insane because they're all like trying to figure out like, oh yeah, the event's happening with Will Smith. He puts the video out the same day. If he would have waited one day, it wouldn't have gone viral.
Yeah.
It changes that one video. I want to point out to you guys, that one video changed everything for him. It made him more money he's ever made. And it changed everything. And he was
50K a
entertainer.
day is fucked. Like,
He had a second channel. It took him literally 12 years to build 300-something thousand subscribers on a hypnosis magic channel. It took him 3 months to get the 600,000 on the same channel. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I just want, it's also about strategy, right? You pick the right audience, the right niche, the right thing, it'll blow up. Sometimes people are really, they're really rigid on, I need to do it this way, I need to do it this way.
Yeah, and they're just not willing to
Not be flexible,
open.
yeah.
You got to be flexible. It's like the main thing. If you're going to be like an entrepreneur or something, like you're going to work with a lot of people, you got to be flexible.
Well, I'm telling you guys, it's the same formula with everyone. So if there's anything you got from this podcast is that anything's possible. It can happen literally overnight. Don't give me an excuse. Oh, I don't have enough time. I don't know enough. He made his first million at 15. At 15, okay? Like, what's your excuse? So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share with some friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one.